Okay, you ready? All right,
Yes.
you ready to go? Okay, so Leanna, I hear the market's gonna crash, so I'm kind of checking things out, but I'm waiting for prices to come down.
Okay, so you're waiting for the prices to come down, is that correct?
That's correct.
So what I would suggest with you is, what are you kind of looking for as far as price that you'd feel comfortable with?
Okay. The prices are just way too high right now in Camarillo. So, maybe in like the 500 price range would be nice. Yeah.
Okay, and have you spoken with anyone by chance about how much you could qualify right now?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so I think it would be best if we could get in touch with a lender. That way, not forcing you to do anything, but you have a better understanding of what you can afford right now.
Okay.
That way, if it is too expensive for you, we just wait a little bit longer, save as much money as you can, and when you are ready, then we'll proceed with the next step. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah, sounds good. Awesome. All right, Kelly. So, well, I guess before we go to Kelly, what do you guys think in terms of the answer? What's your feedback? What do you got, Monica?
It sounds amazing. Sounds really good. I have not role played. I was telling Amelia, I was like, I prospected yesterday, and it's been since like May that I've prospected. So,
oh wow,
this market is very new to me. And I saw your email, and I'm like, okay, I have to tap in. I have to role play. And I hearing Leanna, and I'm like, okay, wait, maybe I'm not ready to role play.
No, you're fine. That's why we're doing it now, just to practice it. It's to work it out. It's not, and whenever we give feedback, we always want to start with positive feedback, right? And then if there is any constructive criticism, you usually want to give 3 good things and then 1 constructive. Something, when I was taught how to coach in terms of just coaching for real estate, always start with the positive before you give the constructive, but that was perfect. Always definitely want to acknowledge her tone was great. She sounded confident. And just remember, in handling objections, it's not, you have to repeat and affirm, right? And then she did that. So you want to show that you're listening to it, but sometimes you can change the wording around a little bit, right?
Yeah, I felt like I was just repeating the same thing.
But it's okay. If you don't know what to say, just repeat exactly what they said, right? Repeat and affirm, and you don't make them wrong. And then from there, you ask them another question. Let me ask you this: what payment do you feel comfortable with? What are you hoping, to work with there? And that's exactly what you do. So they're going to always hit you. Just think of when you walk into a store and, you ask, or, the gal asks you, or whoever's working there asks you, is there anything I can help you with? What's your typical response to that?
No.
Just looking.
Leave me alone.
No, I'm just looking. Kelly says, no, leave me alone, right? But most people will say, no, I'm just looking. I'm just checking things out. Who goes into a store and just looks, right? You typically are there for a reason, but we want that space. So when you handle the objections right, it flows like that. It's almost like you're like Matrix. They throw something at you and you're just kind of dodging it a little bit, listening, and then still moving forward, right? And so when you do it the right way, it's you learn how to dance with what they're saying, and it's very natural. It's not putting them on defense. You're not arguing with them. You're not making them wrong. You're listening to them, and then you ask them another question to dig a little bit deeper. So that's always the best way to handle these objections, no matter what the objection is, okay? But that's why we want to do it. We call it rapid fire in the morning, so that you just get hit with it and you're already stretching those muscles and trying to think before you get on the phone and start prospecting, okay? They do this every single day in Utah, and we're going to get to that eventually. So that's our goal in trying to do this on a regular basis. So Fernando, appreciate you hopping in, even though you tried to hide for a minute there. Appreciate you being back, bro.
I was just getting my espresso, don't mind me.
You guys got a cappuccino machine over there, man? We're getting gypped here in Camarillo, bro.
Yeah, we do.
I know, man. See, you guys got the good life over there. All right, Kelly. You know what? I'm not ready to buy right now.
Okay, so I understand, not ready to buy. Let me ask you, what's going on in your life? What makes you feel that way? What is it that suggests you're not ready?
Well, really don't know where to start. I don't think we have enough money down, and our credit's not the greatest, but yeah, it seems like these prices are just way out of reach for us. I don't think we can afford it.
Understand, you don't think you can afford it. Prices may be too high, that sort of thing. Let me ask you this: if I could sit down with you and show you a plan and prove to you that you're able to buy, would you be interested? Would you want to buy a home right now for you and your family?
You know, we'd be open to that.
Okay, awesome. Well, listen, that's exactly the reason we need to get together.
Okay.
We'll sit down for a little bit. We'll talk about a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
Even talk to the lender about, you know, what they can qualify you for.
Right.
So we would know where you are in relation to where the prices are right now. So you have a full picture and you're able to make the best decision for you and your family. Sound good?
That sounds great.
Okay, awesome. So let's get together then. What works best for you? Wednesday at 3 or Thursday at 5?
At 5 would be better. I get off work about 4:30.
4:30, and you can make a 5 o'clock appointment here in Camarillo?
Yeah, 5:30 would be better. Could we do 5:30?
5:30. I don't know that I can do 5:30. If we can do 5, let's set for that.
Okay.
I understand if you're a couple minutes late, but if it's much more than that, I've got another appointment after that.
Okay.
Can we do that?
Yeah, let's shoot for it.
Okay, great. So we're going to meet here in Camarillo at my office, and I'll have a lender with me, and so I look forward to seeing you then Thursday at 5.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And you're the hard closer there, bro, at the end, man. Keeping a tight schedule,
Well,
right? Tight schedule.
Neo told me that you don't let them make the appointment time.
There you go. Maybe give them 15-minute grace period or something, but that was good. No, good job. And nice job just rolling with it. You know, the tone, always think of the sincerity, right? And being understanding and empathy. More empathy is better. So always just connect, listen. One thing I like to say if they're not ready is we like to work with our clients at their pace. Okay, that's good. That's great. You're not ready right now. Well, we like to work with our clients at their own pace. Okay, and then that makes them put them at ease, and that kind of lowers that guard some. And then I said, let me ask you, what kind of payment do you feel comfortable with? So always remember when they're talking about prices being too high, when they're talking about interest rates being too high, always come back to monthly payment. Monthly payment is always the focus. The two things you have to do with buyers is make sure that they can handle the payment and make sure that it fits their needs, right? The good news about why it's so exciting to buy right now in this market is that you actually got a little bit of time to pick and choose. So you should be excited about calling your clients. I talked to a top agent just last week, and she just got back from a big superstar retreat, so you probably know who I'm referring to. And they were putting this big emphasis on the fact that agents are kind of concerned to reach out to people and do things. And she's aggressively calling everybody in her sphere, everybody who she met 6 months ago, who missed out on buying. And that's her follow-up right now. So she's looking back 6 months ago, who was I working with then that didn't purchase a home? And those are the very first people that she's calling. And she's already put one in escrow just a couple days ago by doing that. So she's reaching out to people that couldn't buy and saying, hey, guess what? I know we missed out on a bunch of properties 6 months ago. Market's already shifted drastically in 3 months. Now we're negotiating $18,000 credits for our buyers right now. Now we're buying homes at market value, not $100,000, $150,000 over asking price. Let's just get out. I'm going to show you a couple places and go from there. So if you're not showing property right now, make sure that you're at least showing property, minimum to one buyer, but you should have 2 or 3 buyers that you're actively showing property to that you haven't spoken to in about 6 months. That's the first pull to start with, okay? So anytime little tips are coming up just in these coaching sessions, I want to make sure I'm sharing with you guys so you guys can use it and just run with it, okay? As you're coming up with ideas of who to call. But awesome job, Kelly. Any other feedback you guys got for Kelly? I got one. Looks like Lily hopped on here and Nina. Any other feedback you guys got for him?
He was really good at asking questions.
Good job. Yeah, good job in asking the questions there. All right, Monica, you ready now?
Not really.
Yes, you are. You're ready. All right. I kind of want to mix it up, but you brought up about the market going to crash, so let's go with that. So I hear the market's going to crash, Monica. You know, we're just going to wait until the prices come down quite a bit.
So you heard the market's going to crash, Brandon, and you want to wait till the prices come down.
Yep.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, you know, what exactly would be a comfortable monthly payment for you?
Oh, well, we currently pay $3,200 a month in rent. We're in Camarillo. We have a 4-bedroom. We definitely need a 4-bedroom. And I know rentals are going up too, so we don't want to lose our rate right now at $3,200 a month.
So you're currently renting and your monthly mortgage or payment is $3,200 a month?
That's correct. Right? Yep.
Okay. And if you were to purchase a home, you said you're looking for a 4-bedroom, right?
Yes, 4 bedroom, minimum 4 bedroom. Yeah, we have family that lives with us, and that's really important. So I was trying to move the camera, but that wasn't working. So
It's okay. So, Brandon, I mean, just curious, would you be willing? I mean, would you be? Gosh, I'm so stuck.
no, you're good.
I'm
You're
so
doing,
stuck right now.
and see, the awesome part is when you ask the questions, you're in control and you let
Mhm.
them talk, right? And then you just listen and say, tell me a little bit more about that. Tell me a little bit more about if you were to move, where would you move to next, right? Just go with one of your scripts. Try to get them to tell their story. Whenever you call and you prospect internet leads, any buyer potential leads, whether they're very early in the process or later in it, you're trying to get them to tell their story about what they want. So if you can get them to open up and say, okay, what I'm looking for, it's got to be minimum 4 bedrooms, it's got to be in Cameroon because of the schools or whatever, right? And they start describing that, you got them. Now, once you got them, now you can just keep asking them questions because they feel comfortable with you and sharing with you that information. So now your next step after you discover, remember, it's connect, create value, and close. When you're connecting and creating value as you're asking those questions, and as they start feeling comfortable with you, now you're going to close to try to show them a few places. And you want to take the risk out with it because, again, they're going to say, I'm not ready. They're going to come up with another excuse typically before just saying yes to meeting with you. So one way in taking the pressure off is saying something to the effect of, okay, what we like to do with our clients or with our buyers, we show them 3 or 4 properties on the market. You're probably not going to want to write on any of those properties. But what it does is it gives you a feel for what's on the market. It gives us a feel for what you're looking for. So would you be open to checking out 3 or 4 homes this Thursday or Friday? Do either of those days work for you? And I'd be more than happy to set those up for you. We just get a feel. So as you notice, I didn't try to push to get qualified with a loan officer. I didn't try to push to even meet with them in the office, even though if you can set them up to meet them in the office, that's best, right? That's on the hierarchy, meet them in the office face to face. Not everybody feels comfortable with that though. So then they feel more neutral at a Starbucks, or they feel more neutral just in a place that's not your office. So that's part 2. Then part 3 would be doing something, on that hierarchy level. On the 3rd level would be meeting them at the properties. So that the softer close is like, what we like to do is show 3 or 4 homes, show them a few properties, kind of get a feel for what's going on in the marketplace today. You're going to see that you're going to have more options right now. And it's a really exciting time to check it out because a lot of buyers are on the fence. A lot of buyers feel exactly how you feel, that the prices are going to come down. So we saw this happen again right around when COVID hit. What was crazy is that only lasted for about a month. Then the market took off, right? We're also actually seeing the rates start to drop a little bit right now. If that drops again and that buyer buzz comes back again, you may have missed your window of opportunity. So it is really important that we go out and we check some homes out right now so we can beat the other buyers who are now on the fence, right? Where they were so aggressive just 3 months ago. So all reasons to want to hurry up and get out there right now. But awesome job. Do you want to keep going with it, Monica, or do you have any other ideas of kind of how to go with it? Do you want to try it one more time?
No, that was really helpful.
Okay.
Sure.
Let's try it just with some of the things that I added there. See if you can try to implement that in there, okay? So, Monica, I appreciate you reaching out. We're just going to hold off. We hear the prices are coming down.
Oh, okay, Brandon. So you hear the prices are coming down.
Mm-hmm.
Totally understand where your concern is coming from, but I mean, I'm just curious. What are you currently renting right now, or do you own?
I rent.
You rent, okay. And what's your monthly payment, if you don't mind me asking?
$3,200 a month.
$3,200 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow. And Brandon, I mean, if you were to buy, what exactly would you be looking for?
Well, we'd have to keep it around that payment. We definitely couldn't go higher than $3,500 a month. I just, I hear a lot of things about us entering into a recession, so I wouldn't feel comfortable with a $4,000 a month payment. And but if we were to get something, have to have at least 4 bedrooms, be in Camarillo, ideally on a cul-de-sac. We're renting on kind of a busy intersection right now, and then I like having a decent sized yard. We do a lot of sports. I got 3 little ones, and yard's really important to us.
Oh, how fun. What sports do your kids play?
We play baseball, and my son's starting to play soccer. Play a little basketball as well, but mostly baseball, softball family.
Baseball, softball. Awesome,
Yep.
Brandon. So it sounds like staying at a comfortable payment at about $3,500 is important to you, right?
Yeah, no more than 3,500.
No more than 3,500.
Uh-huh.
Right? And I mean, I'm just curious, Brandon, if we were able to keep your payment right around there and get you and your family into a home with, in a cul-de-sac with a bigger yard for the kids to play sports,
right?
Would you be interested in, maybe going to take a look at a few homes just to kind of get an idea to see what's out on the market?
Yeah, we'd be open to that. I mean, do you realistically think, I mean, the prices are pretty high in Camarillo. Do you really think that we can get something that has that for, roughly around that kind of payment, $3,500 a month?
That's a great question, Brandon.
Good response, right? So repeat and affirm. No, so you did awesome, right? And say, you know what? It's actually the market has shifted just in the last 3 months, right? Market shift in the last 3 months. Buyers have better opportunities right now, and they're seeing what's out there, and we got a little bit more time to check it out and negotiate. So I would just love to show you just a few places, kind of get a feel for what's out there right now, and get a better idea of what you're looking for in a home. And then when we do find something that fits your budget, you're ready to go.
Perfect.
Is that good?
Yeah, thank you.
No, you're good. You did awesome. Awesome. No, awesome job. Just, I mean, all the way. I didn't mean to throw another objection. I'm just trying to be realistic with what could happen, because your flow was perfect. Your tone was great. You're very endearing just in terms of how you ask the question. It's very inviting, and people are going to open up and they're going to trust you. So if there is hesitation that they still don't believe that they can afford it, then you just let them know, you know what, let's just check a few places out. I got some time. I already know of 3 or 4 homes that are 4 bedrooms in Camarillo that I want to show you that are on a cul-de-sac. I'll send them over to you and let me know if Thursday at noon or Friday at this time works for you. You give them 2 choices. Either way is a yes, right? And even if they push back on those 2 choices, they're still committing to you. That's why you give them, it's called the alternate close, okay? Always give them 2 choices. That's why we say afternoons or evenings, right? Or mornings or afternoons, or however you want to phrase it. But either answer is a yes, which closes them towards setting that appointment. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, nice job. Fernando, you want to do one?
Man, I'm so crusty. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to make mistakes.
You're good. Well, let's do it. Let's jump into it. So, Fernando, I hear that I hear we missed the best time to sell right now. So I don't know, man. I think we need to just stay put.
Okay, so you feel like you just missed the best time to sell. Can I ask why you're saying that? Why you feel that way?
Oh, well, I just heard homes were going like way over asking, like 15, 20 offers coming in. And from what I hear from my realtor friends that, that's not happening anymore, that there's less showings and, maybe you're lucky to get 1 offer and it's like at asking prices. Is that true?
You know what? So your realtor friend said that homes weren't selling with multiple offers and that they're selling at asking prices. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so I have a good question for you. So I wanted to know, if you were to sell, how much money would you need to net to get to where you need to go next?
That's a great question. I really haven't thought of it too much, but I'd imagine we probably got about $250,000, $300,000 in equity right now in our home. We bought in 2017, so it was right around 570 at that time, and I know one up the street sold for almost 900. But again, that was about 3-4 months ago, so I don't know what we could get now. But I'd guess, if we cleared $350, I think that would be enough to have money down and pay off some bills and, some things that we owe.
Okay, all right. So you would need to net around 300 or 350 in order to get you to where you need to go next.
Yep.
So my question is, if you were to sell today, what are you looking to purchase, or what are you looking to move to?
If we sold today, we definitely want to be on a cul-de-sac. As I mentioned to your partner, we're on a busy intersection right now. We like sports, right? And man, all you guys just call me just every day, man. What's going on with this? But
if you were calling me, I'd be really frustrated.
Right. But
what I hear you saying is that you're looking to get into a single level with 4 bedrooms in a cul-de-sac.
That's correct.
Is that something that you're looking to do? How soon?
You know what? It'd be awesome. Hey, if you could just, snap your fingers and make that happen tomorrow, that'd be great. It freaks me out every day that I'm seeing. We just washed the cars, and I got a little 3-year-old, and I always get nervous about her running out in the street. We got a busy intersection in front of us.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. If I were you and I had my little one running, it felt like my little one was at risk. I would feel the exact same way. So,
yeah.
It sounds to me like you were ready to move yesterday. Is that right?
Yeah. If it all made sense financially, 100%. We're definitely would be eager to find that right place. Do you honestly feel that those opportunities are available right now?
That's a great question. So I do feel like it is a good opportunity for you to find that next home. Actually, the market had shifted 3 months ago. So I feel like now, if you wanted to buy, you'd be able to get a price at asking, versus having to overbid on the property. Is that something you would be open to?
Absolutely. So I'm going to pause you real quick, okay? Fernando, and killing it all the way through. Your first question, on point, killing it. When I asked you that last question, though, really focus on the enthusiasm. No, I'm serious. Be excited. This is where the salesperson's got to come out, right? But you got to believe it. And when I say the salesperson, it's the enthusiasm. You want to be, that's the very reason why I called you. That's the very reason why we need to get together. You want to speak with that conviction and that belief so they know, like, damn, all right, well, let's get moving. You know what I mean? Like, this is when you got to take them, because you set it up beautifully. The way you're leading with your questions, the way you've gotten me to admit that, we would have done this yesterday. So now you got to come in with that punch, and it's not the same tone as everything before. Even though you've been calm, cool, and collective, which has been awesome to lower my guard, this is when we want to pick it up a notch. Does that make sense? Yep. Let's do it again. So yeah. Would you say now's a good time to try to do that?
Actually.
No, actually. All right. 100%. Right. One absolute. That's the very reason why we need to get together. Okay. All right. Ready? Take three. Ready? All right. Take 3. So would you feel that there's those kind of opportunities that, like, I don't want to waste your time. Do you really feel like those opportunities are out there now?
Absolutely. Actually, that's the very reason that we need to get together.
Okay.
There's more opportunities today than there was 3 months ago.
Really?
So with that being said, I would love to sit down with your family to show you how we can get you in that single family home in that cul-de-sac.
Okay.
So what day works best? I got today and I got Thursday available.
Okay. Let's do Thursday. Thursday would be great. What time do you have available on Thursday?
Okay, Thursday. That works for me too. I have either what afternoons or evenings work best for you and your family?
Evenings after 5 would be ideal.
Okay. Let's do Thursday at 5:30.
Okay.
Would that be okay with you and your family?
Yeah. No, that works perfectly. I appreciate you being flexible too. I know that's after hours, and I appreciate that.
Okay, absolutely. I'm just, at your service. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, Brandon, I'm going to go ahead and check in with you on Wednesday at 3 p.m. to make sure that Thursday at 5:30 still works for you and your family. Is that okay?
That works perfectly.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to speak with you, and I hope you have a great day. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
You too. Awesome job, bro. No, you killed it, Fernando. And that first question you had, I'm trying to remember what you said.
I'm recording.
Yeah. What was the first question though? Because I know I started off with the prices coming down. Trying to remember. Oh, what do you want to net?
Yeah,
what do you need to net from the sale of the home? That was fire. That was on point, and that's exactly where you want to shift their focus, not on what's happening. What's that?
You threw the ball on my course. I threw it back in your court.
That was, and that's also yeah. Well, that's called. Have you listened to Tom Hopkins?
No, never.
Okay, definitely. If you get a chance, anything Tom Hopkins. That was one of the first things my mentor shared with me, and it's called the porcupine question. So what you did when somebody asks you a closing question, especially, and that wasn't even a closing question, but you did exactly what you're supposed to. Somebody throws a porcupine in your lap, you throw the porcupine back at them. Okay, you're not going to hold on to it. You throw it back at them. So if somebody asks you, does the playground set come with the house? That's actually a closing question. You don't say, yes, it does, or no, it doesn't. Or you don't even say, let me find out. You ask them the question, would little Johnny and Sally want that playground set with the house, right? You ask them the question to get them to commit towards a close. So that's the example he uses. But if they ask you a tough question, you flip it as a question to them in a closing question that gets them to commit. Instead of just saying yes or no, and they can just take that answer and run with it, you ask them a question that gets them to commit, which is exactly what you did. So I hit you with the objection of my excuse of, well, I missed the boat, right? And then you dug deeper, but even more than that, you went straight to the heart of it is, what is it that you need to walk away with? And once I started talking about it, I started self-discovering and realizing that, damn, I actually do got a lot of equity, even though it's not as good as it was a few months ago. So the pointer that I wanted to bring up that you already hit on is the market's appreciated. This is what George was talking about at the last meeting. I keep stealing what he used for his stats, but it's great. 43% appreciation in the last 2 years, okay? So we've seen the highest growth in history for real estate in the last 2 years on a national level, 43%. So if your seller's still getting 37, 38% right now, they're killing it. They're not going to get what they were getting 3 months ago, right? But if they're still getting 37, 38% appreciation from 2 years ago, that's more than enough reason to sell right now. So that's the very reason why we need to get together now. So it's all about your conviction in setting appointments. In closing, it's your belief. It's your belief in yourself. It's your belief that you can get the job done, right? That we talk about in the listing presentation. So when I got stronger at setting appointments, I had to emphasize, it doesn't matter about the feel good, the connecting, the creating value, unless I can close. And in the closing, that's the part that I hear most people struggle with, is one, being able to ask for the business or ask for the appointment, right? Or two, just speaking with the conviction. You can say something, I promise you if we get together, it's going to be worth our time. I promise you if we get together, you're going to walk away with something of value, right? And if you can emphasize that and they hear that sincerity and that conviction in your voice, they're not going to say no to you, right? And then you do exactly what, if you heard Kelly earlier in terms of how he's pinning it down, he was firm on setting the appointment. And even if they're not 100% on a time, or that's their excuse, now they're kind of pulling back because they're like, well, I don't know if that time works, or I got to talk to my spouse, or I got to figure something out. Then you want to get to where you're saying something, well, you know what? I actually book out pretty quickly and I'm already booked out for the week. I want to make sure I make time for you. So let's tentatively put it down for Friday at 4 o'clock. If we need to reschedule, we reschedule. But I want to make sure I create the time in my schedule for you. So let's tentatively put it in Friday at 4. I'll call you back on Thursday, make sure that time works for you. If we have to reschedule, no big deal. Does that work? Great. And then you pin them down for that appointment. Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Now we could do a whole training just on closing for that, but it's key. So I appreciate you guys role playing this because it's bringing up all these things that we definitely want to continue to master. So awesome job, Big Fernando.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, no, did good. Anybody else online want to hop in on this? We got Juan, we got Nina, we got Lily. Nina, you want to do it?
Lily wanted to.
Okay.
Lily wants to. Lily, are you ready?
Dang, Fernando.
I know, just putting them on there, putting them on blast. Let's go with Nina here.
Close that.
Right?
So intrusive.
So Nina, I'm trying to hit you with something new, and you're probably like, great, why are you asking me this objection here? So Nina, I got a friend who will do it for 3.5% commission. That's one way to respond to it. That's how I respond to, like, oh, go. Right. I got a friend that'll do it for 3.5% commission.
Okay. And he can do it for 3.5%? Wow. That surprised me.
Yeah, I know. So I got to go with him. He's a friend and he's going to cut his rate for me.
Gosh.
It's all right. That's why we're practicing it. Does anybody feel brave enough to take that one on? Does anybody want to do that one?
Yeah.
You ready for it, Kelly?
Yeah.
All right, Kelly. So,
Okay.
Kelly, we got, so I got a friend that'll do it for 3.5% commission.
Okay, so Brandon, if I hear you correctly, you're telling me you have friends.
I do.
Okay.
I know it's shocking, but
And-
I got at least one out there
And
somewhere.
you're telling me that you have a friend that's going to list this for 3.5%.
Yeah, 3.5.
Got it. So, Brandon, just out of curiosity, let me ask you this. This is an important decision, yes?
It is an important decision.
I agree. I think it's a really important decision as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask, is it more important to you to, to have a friend do this or to give some business to a friend, or is it more important to you to handle this like a business transaction and make sure you net the most out of the sale of your house?
Well, ultimately, yeah, it's about making as much money as we can. But I do, my friend just started in the business. I want to help him out. I don't want to. I've already told him that we'd work with him. So, I really don't want to go back on that.
Got it. So you've already committed to working with your friend.
Be careful, I'm committed, but yeah.
You've already told your friend you're gonna.
You've already verbally told him. Yep.
You already verbally told your friend that you'd be working with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And have you signed a listing agreement? Have you signed any sort of paperwork with your friend?
No, not yet.
Okay, great. And now I kind of don't know where to go.
No, you're doing great. So the questions are good, but you're thinking of the next question. So you want to, all right, so let's do it again. You want to, no, awesome job though. Great. Are you ready for it now, Nina? Is that what you said?
Yeah, it says how about you having another opinion before you sign with your friend?
That's perfect.
Yeah,
second opinion is great, right? That's good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can I share with you something I've experienced when I see people work at a discounted rate?
Yes.
So what I've noticed typically is, as unfortunate as it is, agents will actually avoid showing your property if you're not giving them the 2.5% commission on their side that they demand, because we're providing a service to our clients and we have to protect ourselves ultimately. So by you discounting your commission for the buyers, your house may sit on the market longer because it's not as appealing. It's not as appealing for buyers. May love your house, but agents, they're gonna get scared. You're only offering them 1.5% commission on their end.
Right.
Tell me if you think that's reasonable. If you were in my shoes, would you want to show the property to your clients if you knew you were getting a lower rate?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Really didn't understand how that worked. But that's why I don't like agents. Agents are so greedy. And you know what? I don't want to keep paying them all that commission. It's just ridiculous. Why wouldn't they show the house? That's still $5,000 that they'd get paid.
It is.
It's just so frustrating.
And I understand your frustration, but as a way, it's a liability, and then go from there. I don't know how to take it on, but that's kind of how. No,
you killed it. Okay. That was perfect. I call it the commission story. You got to have a really good commission story. What I mean by that is, our job is to be persuasive, and we have to paint the picture with words and help people understand why it's important to pay at least 2.5% to the selling office side, right? So you have to practice that over and over and over again and get to that point. But that's where you can ask them on the 3.5 and dig deeper. So what are they offering to the selling office side? And they may say 2%, right? 1.5 on their side, 2 on the other side. Well, can I share with you why that concerns me? What do you mean it concerns you? It concerns me because I can show you that many agents won't show the property if you're not offering at least 2.5%, right? Now, we can't mandate anything. Commissions are negotiable, but I know if I were selling my own house, I would offer minimum 2.5, maybe even 3% commission to try to drive and incentivize as many buyers as possible in a market that's as rocky as right now to make sure that we close this transaction. Because it's going to take a strong listing agent on your side, as well as a strong buyer's agent on their side to overcome appraisals and to overcome requests for repairs to make sure we get this job done. Does that make sense? So if an agent has an option and they have one really strong buyer and they're showing multiple properties and they see 2.5, 2.5, 2.5, and then yours at 1.75, do you think that some agents may hesitate in trying their best in getting you top dollar for the sale of your home?
I just went through that.
Right, you just went through it.
Yeah.
And it's an opportunity for the agent, actually, if I see a commission, because I'll still show it. If my client wants a house, I'll show it, but I know I have no competition. So what is it that you would like? Would you like to create competition in terms of offers and buyers that are interested in your home? Or do you want to limit your buyer pool? What are you looking to do?
You want to drive it up?
I never thought of it that way, right? That's always what they say every single time that you get to that. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's key. So it's figuring out how to do it. So in doing the commission question, Nina and anybody else, when you get hit with it, and I kind of want to go through everybody with this one, but we'll move to another objection, okay? Whenever you're doing it, leaders get people to focus on the right things, okay? So they're focused on the expense. They're focused on the cost, what the pain is, right? What they're going to pay out. They're not focusing on the benefit, right? That's exactly what Fernando did in his objection handling when I brought up that the timing wasn't the best, that it was a little bit better before. He got to the benefit of what are you going to walk away with. So when they talk about the expense, so if you hit me with the 3.5% commission, go ahead, and you get to be the seller now that's sticking to the 3.5%. Go ahead.
Brandon, I mean, I kind of hear what you're saying and all that stuff, but I've got a friend of mine that's going to sell this house for 3.5.
Oh, you got a friend that's going to sell it for 3.5%
Yep.
commission. You know what? I hear that all the time. And guess what? I actually know somebody who'll do it for 2% commission. Can I share with you why that concerns me?
Sure.
Okay, it concerns, what is your friend going to offer to the buyer's agent?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. He didn't share that with you. Okay, well, that's important to find out. The reason why I bring that up is there's different business models, and ultimately, the goal is to put as much money in your pocket. Is that what you're saying? That you want to walk away with as much money as possible?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Well, if I can show you that with our proven track record, and I can give you referrals and references, that you're going to walk away with more money with me than working potentially with your friend, would you be open to listening to that or sitting down and discussing that?
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. If I can get more money, of course.
Well, I will promise you, I'm going to show you a way that we're going to walk away with more money if you work with me or work with us in Century 21 Everest. I'm going to show you how we are going to expose your property at the highest level possible. When we list a home online, it's actually translated in 18 different languages, 4 different currencies. Do you know where most cash investors are coming from right now? Outside of this country?
No.
China, right? We have over 1,000 offices in China, okay? I promise you that you're going to get maximum exposure with Century 21 Everest. And with our team of professionals behind us, we have over 400 agents. We have market share across Ventura County. I would hate for you to chase the 3.5% commission, and it actually costs you tens of thousands of dollars. That's why it's so important that we get together. Would you have some time tomorrow at 4 o'clock? I promise you that it's going to be worth your time, and that you will see how you're going to walk away with more money. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, awesome. Let's get together on Friday at 4 o'clock. So then we would set it. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shift their focus from the expense to the benefit. Okay? What are they walking away with? So I didn't do that as well as I wanted to, but that's kind of the gist behind it. Okay, guys?
Why did you avoid the word when he said committed? I know you're committed to your friend.
Okay, so committed. So committed is a great question. So when the word was brought up, committed, before, you committed to your friend. Commitment is more like a contract or an agreement. Okay, or if you say you're working with an agent, this is another reason why we're taught early on. So I always got to do the disclaimer, right? For ethical reasons, you always have to ask if somebody's working with another agent. Now, be careful when you say working with another agent. And when I say you always have to ask, it's at the point that you can tell that somebody's been writing offers, that somebody's been obviously seeing properties. They say we've missed out on multiple homes. It's pretty obvious that they've been working with another agent. So the better question to ask is, are you committed with another agent, or are you under contract with another agent when that question comes up? Because if you say, are you working with another agent, working is too vague. It's too open. And a lot of times, if you ask somebody who walks into the open house, are you working with another agent, what are they going to say?
Yes.
Yeah. Why are they going to say yes?
Because they want you to back off.
Exactly. We're vampires, and this is the garlic to keep you away, right? That's how they look at it. This is the freeze, I'm working with another agent. And then you can ask them, who are you working with? Yeah, I can't remember their name, or I don't know what brokerage they're with, right? They don't know. They're just saying it. It could be legit. It could not be. But the better way I heard it is, what is working with another agent? It's working with another agent. You met them at an open house. Well, they met 5 agents at different open houses that weekend. So who are they working with, right? Is working with another agent because somebody sent them an email? right? Well, we all have the same clients and the same prospects then. So whose client is it? It's whoever has them either under buyer broker agreement, right? To the point where you've actually gone over what you're supposed to do by law is go over the disclosure regarding agency relationships. That very first form that auto populates, when it starts to be that you're actually forming that relationship. So if you do your buyer consultation, you should go over that disclosure regarding agency relationship and explain to them what it means to have representation and to have a buyer's agent, a professional buyer's agent who's looking on your behalf and negotiating on your behalf. And you start having that conversation. So you don't have to have them sign a buyer broker agreement, but you want to at least have that disclosure regarding agency relationship. And when they look at that, they may think that you're trying to put them under contract, right? And have that commitment, which could be good, may not be what you want to do, but you want to start having that conversation, okay? So just remember when you ask it. So the reason why I get so passionate when I talk about this is a buddy of mine and I were doing internet leads. This was about 4 or 5 years ago, Zillow leads, and we spent a lot of money on it. And we were pretty good agents. We thought we were pretty good agents, and we could not convert these leads. We're like, what are we doing wrong? Like, what is this? And so both of us were just banging our heads on this because we teach classes, we train agents, but we couldn't convert these Zillow internet leads. So I came across this site, it's called, I'm trying to remember, it's Real Geeks is the website, Keeping It Real, that's what it's called, keepingitreal.com. And they have these podcasts and they interview these top agents and top teams. And so I finally found somebody who focused on internet leads. And they said there's 2 things you don't do. You don't ask them if they're already pre-qualified. You don't start talking to them about financing. And you don't ask them if they're working with another agent. He's like, if you're dealing with an internet lead and you start with either of those 2 questions, you've already lost them.
You get in front of them.
It's done. Exactly. He said the goal is to get face-to-face. You want to get face-to-face with whoever's calling on a particular property. And then once you do that, then you're going to go to that. Okay? And you're going to work on that. All right. Well, we've been hammering that point in pretty well. You guys got it, right? So don't turn me in for ethics violations here. I'm trying to help you guys be better at converting and not throwing extra barriers. And what it is in that book, Versatile Selling, it's called relationship tension. We keep talking about it. The relationship tension is high. It's super high when you first meet a stranger or meet somebody who's thinking about buying or selling real estate. So you have to have the art of being like Fernando and being able to lower that guard, right? And be able to ask good questions with your tone, how calm, how cool you are. Remember, you want to be that calming force, that calming influence when people are stressed about the idea and the process of real estate. The other good thing that I learned from that podcast was that I think in our stats are 2/3 of buyers will work with the very first agent that they meet face to face. 2/3. So I have the same friend I was telling you about tells me, he's like, look, finding an agent is awkward. I mean, it's an awkward, it's almost as bad as dating, right? And once you find somebody that's good, that you like, that is professional, can do their job, that's who you're going to work with. So that's why your whole goal is to meet with them face to face.
Rather than to go do it again.
Right.
Go to the awkward thing
well,
again.
Once you start opening up and kind of pouring your heart out on, these are the reasons why I want to own a home, or these are the reasons why I want to sell and move to another spot. You don't want to keep going through that. So that's why the discovery portion is so important as well. Not for you to just be effective in leading them and to connect and create value, but when you take that kind of time and discover that much, they're not going to want to do that with somebody else. So just make sure that don't skip the steps, right? You're trying to meet them face to face, but be strong in the discovery and the pre-qualification, okay? All right, any questions about that? Or did that rub anybody wrong in terms of, why you want to hesitate? Fernando, I knew it rubbed you wrong. You're too much of a wise guy over there, Fernando. You're having too much fun in this business. No fun in real estate. All right, anything else? Any other objections you guys want to work on? Juan or Lily? Lily. Come on, Lily.
Come on, Lily.
Yes, I actually had a question. I had a deal one client yesterday.
Okay.
He was like a lead, and we were talking about commission, and he was like, well, how much do you charge? Like, I just want to know. And I was like trying not to like say a number, because I want to like sit down and talk to him and have like a meeting, an appointment before I discuss that.
Right.
But he just kept, and I wanted to I want to know how to better handle that next time.
Yeah, no, that's great. Great question. So if they ask you how much you charge on the phone, and I have to admit, I've been guilty in the past, especially if it's a referral from a past client. I remember this conversation. I'll share the story so you can, I don't want to say learn from it because it still worked. I ultimately got the listing, but it was a referral. And so I said, okay, well, typically I charge 6%. But since you're a referral, I'll take care of you. I'll do it for 5%, right? And he said, okay. And it was enough for me to at least set the appointment. The problem with that is by the time I got there, and I could tell this presentation went as well as it could go. We went through the process, we're discovering, we're connecting, we're towards the end of it, and I asked my closing question. So, scale 1 to 10, 10 being 100% confident, 1 being 10, where are you at? And he's just like, oh man, he doesn't answer, like he doesn't give me a number, but he's all, that was awesome. Like, you're obviously really good at what you do. He's like, but I'm going to interview a couple other agents. And I was kind of taken back, like, damn, okay. Like, you're going to interview a couple other agents. Well, I thought you were like I didn't say this, but in my head, I'm thinking he was referred to me by somebody who's happy with my service. I already told him I'd do it for 5%. Like, what's the problem? He wanted lower than 5. Because I gave him 5 on the phone. And that's the reason why you say, so what you should respond with is, commissions are negotiable. I can promise you commissions aren't going to come in between us working together, right? And we'll talk about that when we get together. What time works best for you, we'll get to that time. Most people, as long as they know you're flexible with commissions, that's all they need to hear. So that's what I should have did. But I didn't. I did against what I teach. And I set a number because he asked me on the phone and it's a referral, and I'm thinking, okay, I got him in the bag at 5%. I didn't. So once I asked him the questions, once we're there and I'm trying to close them, thinking I got it done, I didn't. And he just comes back and he says, what he said, he's all, well, I'm pretty sure if I interview a couple more people, somebody will do it for 4.5%. And I responded with similar to what I did with Kelly. And I said, that's interesting. I said, actually, yeah, I got a friend that'll do it for 3 or 3.5%, right? You can definitely find somebody who's willing to do it. Right? And then I asked him the question, let me ask you, is this the most important investment that you have right now? And he said, yeah. And I said, so that being said, don't you want the best to represent you and help sell your home? Well, yeah, definitely. It's just, that's a lot of commission. I said, no, you're right. And then I started putting some fear in him. And I actually started saying, I said, you know what? I shared with you that I feel very confident you can net this today. But if you potentially hire somebody else because you're chasing a lower commission and you call me back 6 months from now, the best I'm going to be able to get you, and it was a condo. I said, so you can probably get 415 today, right? I said, the best I'll probably be able to get you at that point is about 390. So I'm going to leave the paperwork here with you. I wish you all the best. I know this is an important decision. If you feel that I'm the best person to represent you and negotiate, because my last 10 sellers have not paid a dime in terms of repairs, as well as we've gotten over asking price. You can look at my stats. We're at 104% with list price versus sold price. But yeah, it's an important decision. I'll leave this with you. And you make them feel that they don't want to lose you, that they don't want to take that chance, you got them. And sure enough, the next day I'm driving from an all-star thing coming back. And it was for my daughter. It was actually around the time they were playing together. We're coming from Newberry Park and I get the text. And they're like, hey, we choose you and we choose Century 21. We're excited to work with you. I said, great, I'll have my assistant. And it's actually Zanisa at the time. So Anissa and I were working together. She's the manager in Simi. And she ran over because she lived in Simi, went over there, picked up the paperwork, and we had it. Okay. So great question. The confidence is important. And one thing that George Morris also taught me is persuasion is very long lasting. Manipulation is short. That's where people feel buyer's remorse or seller's remorse, right? When you're good and you're strong and persuasive and you know you're strong, you can leave it with that confidence and walk away. And I didn't do it in a mean way, but I'm definitely painting the picture of this is a very important decision. You need to be smart about who you're thinking about listing your home with, right? Because you get one crack to do this the right way. And if you do it the wrong way, we all know if you don't price it right in the first 2 weeks, that's detrimental, right? And now you start looking at a negative stigma on the property. So when you speak with people, speak with that same type of conviction. Commission doesn't become an issue anymore. And I have overcome the 3.5%er friends or other agents who came in saying they do it at 3.5%. all on what we're talking about here today in terms of this objection handling. That's why it's so important we practice it. But awesome. Thank you for asking that question, Lily. You want to practice it now? You want to try it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it out. All right, so Lily, what do you charge commission?
Well, my commission rates are negotiable. That is something I'd love to sit down and talk to you about.
Okay.
Would work for you afternoon or evenings. Is that too?
No, that was good. So you answer it, you repeat and affirm. So you can say, what I hear you saying is that you need to really net the most for the sale of your home, okay? And well, the good news is commissions are negotiable. I promise you that commissions won't come in between us working together, right? What works best for you, afternoons or evenings, and then you move to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're repeating and affirming, you're showing that you're listening to them. You're not making them wrong. You're not making them wrong for feeling that way, right? If I call for sale by owner and they want to sell it on their own, I'm like, I'd do the same thing if I were you too, right? I get it. I wouldn't want to pay that, right? I understand that. And you already lower that guard. It's going to be a completely different conversation now once you've done that. Because now you've shown that you get them and you understand them and you relate to them. And you're not just trying to push or make them wrong because every agent who's calling them is trying to make them wrong. You're not making them wrong. So you got to lower the guard first before you can ask them questions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's try it one more time. So what do you charge commission, Lily?
Well, I understand that you want to net the most for your property, but my rates are negotiable.
Great.
So I'd like to set up a time so we can discuss that further, what would work best for you, afternoon or evenings.
That's great. Let's do afternoons.
Okay, great. What time? At 12 or at 1?
1 o'clock would be good.
You did.
There you go. Good job, Lily. Any feedback for Lily?
It's really great voice.
Yeah.
Great voice.
Great voice, great tone. It's the confidence. It's being relaxed. Again, don't let it just stump you. What typically happens when they say, what do you charge commission? It's like, what do I say? And they can hear it. They're doing that. They're testing you, okay? They're trying to see what is it that I'm dealing with. Now, our fear, the common fear is if you don't tell them a low commission or you don't tell them that you're willing to kick in points or whatever, right? Our fear is that we're not going to get the appointment. You have to be strong and confident and say, look, I promise you, we're going to show you how you walk away with the most amount of money from the sale of your home. And then say, is that what you're looking for? Yes, it is. Great. Well, let's get together at this time. You show that you're flexible and that you're going to promise that it's all about keeping more money in their pocket. That's ultimately what they care about. Okay. And there are plenty of agents who will just cave on commission right out the gate. So what we want to work on here is being stronger with that value and bringing that value to the table and creating that through our presentation, okay? And I promise you, and I mean this, I promise you all that we will do that through our presentation and practice in that listing presentation. All right? Okay, we've actually gone, just so you know, role play is normally only supposed to be about 30, 45 minutes. We've already gone almost an hour into it. So any questions in terms of what we're covering? Juan, you've been quiet over there, bud. How are you doing?
I'm good, just soaking it all in.
Soaking it all in? Well, we got to do more than soak it in, man. We got to put it to work. We got to take action. Remember, bro? What do you want to get hit with? Which or you want a commission? You want we're thinking about it, or we think the market's going to crash? Let's do the market crash. I'm not even going to ask anymore. Okay. Market's crashing. So one, market's crashing, man. There's no way in hell I'm buying right now. Only suckers are buying right now.
Okay, Brandon, so you think the market's crashing. Why do you feel that way?
Oh, man, it's obvious, man. There's price reductions everywhere. The houses are sitting on the market. Like, market's going to crash. These prices have been insane. So it's going to, just like in 2008, the prices are coming down, man.
Okay, I hear you. Brandon, are you buying or selling now?
I'm buying. Well, I'm not buying. I'm not buying right now. I'm buying. I'm never buying with this attitude, right? Never, ever.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Brandon. I'm hearing the news and people are talking and, it can cause some uncertainty. But if we eliminated that noise and if you and I really got together and kind of went over your specific situation and we made a plan that seemed right for you and it worked and it made you comfortable to buy, is that something that you would consider?
I like how you tried to tie it down, and I like how you tried to describe it. Remember, telling is repelling, okay? So you turned it into a question at the end, which was good. It's called the tie down question. But what you want to do is ask more questions, okay? So as if I hit you with an objection, I came obviously super strong and saying, suckers would only buy right now, yada, yada, right? And I'm really trying to throw that wall up, but I'm just trying to prove to you that there's no way in hell that I'm going to buy right now, right? You just want to say, no, I get it. There's a lot of buyers that are feeling the same way as you are right now, right? Let me ask you, why would you ultimately want to own a home? And switch it from buy to own, right? Because this is Tom Hopkins again. Everybody wants to own. People don't want to buy. Okay, buying, there's risk. Buying, they've been sold something that they got duped in. So, but if you talk about ownership, all of a sudden everybody wants to be a homeowner. So let me ask you, Juan, why would you want to own a home? Like what's important about home ownership to you? And let's just flip it right now. This is like, if I were asking you, you were telling me there was hesitation in buying right now, and I asked you that question, Juan, real talk, why would ownership be important to you?
I'd say my kids.
For your kids. That's awesome. How many kids do you have, Juan?
Are you ready? I have 5.
5 kids. Damn. All right. Been busy, bud. No, that's awesome. That's awesome, Juan. So you want your own home. That's awesome, man. My dad waited till he was about 38 before he finally took the leap and purchased his first home. And it was a big deal. And being in a military family, we moved every 3 years, so that was a scary idea in terms of permanently taking that leap. So I get it. Tell me, what would home ownership do for your family?
Honestly, just to have a place that we can call home. I mean, have a backyard, practice softball, and just spend some quality time together, grow up together.
That's awesome. So just really plant some roots, and make that your own. And there's actually stats out there that show that kids are more likely to go to college from homeowners, through ownership versus just that strong foundation. So it sounds like that's what you're trying to create for your family. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? I'm excited that we're talking on the phone today, Juan. I'm excited because now is an awesome opportunity to get you ready to help put you on the path for home ownership for your family. And nothing would make me happier than being able to help show you the way. And there's some amazing opportunity out there right now because people are hesitating. Just like you and many others out there, there's a lot of hesitation. But if I can show you and put you in a comfortable monthly payment and get you exactly what it is that you're looking for, would that be something that you'd be open to exploring?
Yeah.
That's great, man. Well, what works for you, Juan? What time can we get together and check a few places out? We'll just look at 3 or 4. We won't even worry about, going through the pre-qualification process yet. I want to just show you what's out there. And if you see something that you like, then we can talk a little bit more about next steps. I got Thursday or Friday afternoon. Do either of those times work for you?
Yeah, Fridays.
Fridays, great. Okay. So Juan, you want to flip it again? You want to try it one more time? We'll wrap it up and you can be the last one to flip that. So we're going to do the same situation, okay?
Okay.
All right. So Juan, I just hear that the market's coming down right now. So I don't think it's a good time to buy.
Yeah, no, I hear you, Brandon. It's, there's a lot of news, there's a lot of uncertainty, but why do you want to buy? What's important to you about owning a home?
Oh, you know what? It'd be awesome. Especially living in Ventura County, it just seems that the prices are just so dang high, so I really don't know if we can qualify. I haven't even looked at it in terms of what the payment looks like, but we'd really have to keep our mortgage under $3,000, I guess no more than $3,500 a month. So, I do want to become a homeowner, and I would like to have our own place. And, it's we got 60 days notice a couple years ago, and that feeling just really, to be honest, I felt like I let my family down. So I don't want to be in that position again.
No, I understand, Brandon. So, it sounds like you feel a conviction to be that provider and to be able to provide for them financially.
100%.
I mean, if we can get together and make a plan to where, your mortgage is going to be under 3,500. I mean, is that something that you're open to getting together and talking about?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I can do today at 5 or Friday at 5:30. Would one of those times work for you?
Yeah, let's do Friday at 5:30.
Awesome. I'll see you then, Brandon.
All right, awesome. All right, what do you guys think?
That's a lot better. I liked how you phrased it to like you have a conviction for it now, like because it sounded like you really understood that it hurt him a lot to not be that provider and not be able to support his family. So I felt like the word conviction was really good.
So, and if you're taking notes right now, and I hope you guys have your journal and you're jotting some things down, what were some of the things we talked about with home ownership? These are points. You should have a list of these. And I know it sounds kind of tedious, but it's something you want to think about. What are some of the things we talked about right now? You talked about being a provider, right? Financial stability. These are all reasons why home ownership's important. Having the tax write-off.
Can't get kicked out.
Can't get kicked out.
60-day notice.
Taking control of your future, right? That's a real story of a client who ended up moving out to Arizona. We were actually in escrow here, and then they canceled out of that one and then moved out to Arizona. But he got a 60 days notice, and man, the guy went through a huge depression thing that he wasn't ready for. And it happened when the market started taking off, and landlords were selling left and right. And he just in terms of wanting to be that provider and protector for the family, it was huge. So stability, financial stability. So we talked about, I didn't really like how I talked about the stats with, and it is a true stat. When I work for a nonprofit, they talk about how important home ownership is. It actually breaks the cycle of poverty. The average homeowner, and this was a stat a couple years ago, the average homeowner had about $240,000 worth of net worth versus a renter, the average was between like $4,000 to $7,000. Okay, so a huge way in terms of creating wealth, through assets and opportunity there too. So many different reasons. Any other reasons why it's important to be a homeowner?
Inflation-proof asset.
All right, in English, what was that, Fernando?
Oh, it's an inflation-proofed asset.
Inflation-proof asset.
Yeah, it'll protect you from inflation. Rents go up, but your mortgage won't go up.
That's right.
It protects you.
It does protect you, and you take control of what your housing expenses, right? You can lock that in. Now, there's taxes can adjust, insurance can adjust. It's minimal though. It did, and we'll talk about it at another time when the market came down and came back up. That actually was something that was causing people to sell their home because there was when the prices came down, the taxes actually came down, the property taxes. Well, there's typically a 1% cap on how much it can increase every single year. And because it started high, went down and came back up, that 1% rule wasn't in effect. And so I know for myself, our payment went up almost $200 a month once that happened by the prices going down and then back up. So that's something that as we go through this cycle again, you're going to see the same thing happen. And you want to prepare your homeowners for that as well. So it does fix it pretty good. Do you remember that? Do you remember when prices were coming down and they're coming up and people's payments were jumping about $200 to $400 a month?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's a lot of money.
It is. Especially on a fixed income. Yeah. So it was causing people to start selling because they couldn't handle that payment. So another thing. But no, that's good. Any other things you guys want?
Yeah.
Yes.
One of the ones I used to use, and during the 2008 crash, was
Jim over here.
People, and this is almost true. I said that my parents lived through a real rough period. You think that 5 or 6% is bad?
Right.
They went through like 21%.
Right.
While they were even trying to sell their house.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to be sorry later if rates jump up even higher. And the other thing is prices don't really look as though they're going to come down that much because of the availability in Ventura County.
Right.
And so I hope we don't have this conversation in a year and you're even more upset than you are now.
Right.
But, that's using the guy's thing against himself.
Right.
What he started out as.
Right.
But,
That's
whatever
great.
works, right?
No, I think that's great. Thank you, Jim.
Oh, sure.
Appreciate that. Cassie, how are you doing? I'm not putting you on camera here.
Sorry, but
It's all right.
I'm absorbing.
Yeah, just
This has
absorbing.
I mean, I'm learning from everybody and
That's
just out
awesome.
there. Everyone's personality is a little bit different, so
Yeah.
it's nice hearing different objections and how
Yeah.
they would respond.
So, you got anything for us? Any objections you want to work on?
I have a doctor's appointment, but I wanted to sneak in before I have to go so I could
So,
listen.
if I hear you right, you have a doctor's
Yeah.
appointment.
I would
So,
try for this.
Is there any point this week that you don't have a doctor's appointment and we could get
There's
together?
always doctor's
can have doctor's
appointments.
Any of it that you see beneficial, just in terms of practicing?
I think
What would you want to practice on or
so
work
the
on?
buyer objections I think are great right now because I think it's really exciting for people to throw terminology out there like the market's crashing and the economy, and
Right.
it's very common for people to throw those out. So hearing some ways that you can be part of the conversation and turn that conversation around, I think was really great, just
Right.
because I think a lot of people are feeding off of that energy.
Oh,
so
for sure.
We're hearing it a lot.
A lot of hesitation, and that's our job, is to cut off the procrastination and help them achieve their goals.
Yeah.
That's it. Just have good, honest conversations. You're not going to convince everybody to get motivated and go out there and do it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who want to buy and who want to sell, and we just have to find them. And that's our job, is finding those people. But if we get shut down too easy and walk away too easy, you're going to see that it's like, I've seen some just masters at prospecting when I've gone to prospecting school, and they've taught me so much. And I was like, there's no way this person's setting the appointment. And it was actually, this was recruiting, and the guy was like, look, I got a flat fee. I pay $600 per transaction. I would never consider anything else. You're wasting your time. I don't want to waste your time. And the guy who's on the phone, he's just doing this the whole time. Like, he's just laughing. He's just doing this. He's just like, yeah, watch. And then he gets him and then hits him hard. And we'll close with this. And he just finishes with, he's like, look, he's like, I promise you, if we get together on Friday, that you're going to walk away with something you can add to your business right now. Now, what works with you? 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock on Friday. And the guy literally said, no. And he set the appointment. I was like, holy, I was just mind blown at his conviction and how he set the appointment. And he just promised to provide value. That was it. All his promise is it's not going to be a waste of your time. It's not a waste of my time. This is what I do, right? And it's not going to be a waste of your time. You're going to walk away with something that you can do right now. And when I saw that, it changed everything on prospecting for me. I saw how easy I was giving up on these objections, and I was like, it's not that bad. They're just, they're better at selling you than you are at selling them, really, when it comes down to it. And so we got to get better, and we got to practice and get more comfortable with that. Yes, sir.
Another thing that it was just that when I first started, it was kind of interesting. I used to conform to the buyers. I used to always say, what time do you think you would like to see this house?
Right.
And it almost never worked because then they said, well, nobody else wants to see it. And so then about a year later, I started saying, hey, listen, there's other people viewing the homes. We have an opening from 1:30 to 2.
Right.
Could you make that? And then if they say no to that, say, well, I can try to call the owner and see if we can get in there before the other person looks at it.
Great point.
Because it's a weird thing. Unless they think there's competition, they might even think that the home isn't really a hot item.
No, that's a good point.
It's kind of a weird little.
It is, but it's but you hit on a few things. Yeah. One is you never want to say, "Oh, I got all week open," right? I got all week open. Yeah. What works best for you? Never say that. Okay? And we talked about the tie down close with given 2 options: afternoons or evenings, and then you tie it down again, 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Once you get the day down, once you get, so you're narrowing it down. Yeah. But more importantly, you want to treat this like a professional and make sure that you're booking it. And then so when you go to confirm the appointments, this is another important lesson or tip, is if you've scheduled something, so you worked all week to set all these appointments for a Friday at like 4 o'clock, and you've set like 5, 7 different appointments, when you call them the day before, you want to confirm it and you want to make sure you say, look, I spent all week setting these appointments up. We've set them up. We got them all lined up and all mapped up. Does it still work for you at this time? Don't just call them or text them, especially on text with an amiable. Don't text them and say, hey, are you still good for that time? Because it's an easy out for them to say, nope, doesn't work for me. And you just booked all of those appointments. Okay. Yeah. So you want to, it is kind of guilt tripping them a little bit, but you want to emphasize how much work you've already put in, and you're excited to show them the places. Does that make sense? So you're always selling. You are, but you have to. If not, people aren't going to respect your time and what you put into it. Okay. No, all great points. All right, guys, we'll wrap it up. Thanks for hopping in. And yeah, we'll see you, I guess, tomorrow. I think John's doing it. And then Thursday, if you guys can make it in Ventura, George is going to be doing morning ascent at 8:30. And then we have base camp here at 12 o'clock in Camarillo. You guys are welcome to join for that. So, all right, you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
What?
All right. Thanks, guys.
I'm doing our closing affirmations.
We will. Do them. You're ready, bro.